You ordered the Rangers to kill my children? You're even more of a monster than I thought.
Yep.
Aw, damn it. You dumb sons of bitches just blew your last chance. Kill these dupes.
No, 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 no. That's not how this works.
Let us move you to the museum for safety. We'll handle the Rangers and their accomplice.
They're not Rangers!
What? Leave me be. I can fight my own battles.
Please, sir, think of the future. Colorado needs you.
Damn it.
Diarrhea.
Oh, Jesus.
Big asshole.
Every time! Every time, Lucia!
Rabbit's foot.
Oh, shit.
In range now.
Do you know how many times you just shot my vehicle? Yeah. Yeah. Of course he's fine. Go on, take him out.
Fight the power. Go into cover.
You leave my vehicle alone?
Moving in. Take out that metal condom.
Morningstar, no! Doe, take him out. Take him out, Doe. Ultraviolet Rage, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Doe's OP chat. None of you are Rangers. You're all monsters. Every one of you is a villain. Every one of you is a villain.
Like fish in a barrel.
This is kind of haunting. All things said and done, chat.
Get behind him. Die, patriarch fucker!
That's not what the text said! That's not what the text said! Oh, it's lagging. Oh, it's doing the glitch. Thank God. I was about to be very upset. Don't you dare. Don't you dare take the shot at me. First aid, you mother.
Take out that metal condom.
Literally burned to death. Good end. Good choice. I'm okay with that ending. Also, my God. It's done. This fight's over. We've won. They just don't know it yet. Cool. You stop that. You stop that. You stop playing. Reload your gun. Now rip him apart. Well done. Who's left? No, it wouldn't count that, right?
It's done then? Good. With this, my nation is once again secure. You've earned the reward I promised your general, and you will have it. The trucks are already on their way.
Thank God.
Now, you have a choice. You can return to Arizona, but you have a home here if you want
Yeah, we need to rebuild after everything they just did. We gotta fix the relations that Angela ruined. So, we're staying in Colorado, chat.
Good. It will be good to have you here. There is still much to be done to repair the damage my children have wrought. The road forward is not an easy one, but hopefully we will both live long enough to see the birth of the peaceful, prosperous world.
I'm all yours, Remy.
Fighting.
Well, welcome back, friend.
Until that day, I will make sure that Colorado hails you as the heroes you are.
You're goddamn right.
Thank you, Rangers. Thank you.
Also, I think that the traders should be called the Trader Rangers, because that just has a great ring.
They don't know in Arizona what we did in Colorado on the trail. If we saved them or betrayed them, if we did the job we went for or we failed. Hard times in Arizona with the Rangers and the settlers giving ground. To the raiders and militia, and it seemed we'd lose the good life that we found. Then Buchanan made his offer, find my kids and I will help you save your land. So we rode for Colorado, praying that he'd be an honest man. In Denver we found valor, a son who didn't live up to his name. He turned against his father, siding with the old man's rivals seeking fame. Though these rivals tried to stop us, we captured valor like we said we would. And brought him home to Daddy, who made it pretty clear just where he stood.
Yeah, we just beat it.
Then we made our way to Aspen to find Buchanan's misbegotten son. The sick old
No.
victory, we pulled the legs off humans just for fun. Wasn't easy fighting, the urge to make him pay for what he'd done. But we brought him back alive, locked him up to the relief of everyone. On the track halfway to Kansas, we found Buchanan's daughter making plans to conquer Colorado with the help of desperados, gangs, and clans. Though she swore she'd not surrender, we promised not to end her, come what may. So we shot the folks around her, then bound her and we took her from the fray. So we went back to Buchanan, we told him we'd done everything he asked. It was his turn to deliver, so we could save our Arizona home at last. Though we thought he might renege, or demand we plead and beg on our knees.
Hold on, that's not at all what happened. Hold on, that's a lie.
He made good on every detail. He paid up just as pretty as you please. They don't know in Arizona what we did in Colorado on the trail. If we saved them or betrayed them, if we did the job we went for or we failed. But when the winter turns to spring, The news newcomers bring, they'll know that the Rangers kept their promise, and the aid from Colorado's gonna flow.
I so wonder how many different endings there are for this game. There's gotta be a ton. The Patriarch was true to his word. Every few months he sent a supply convoy across the Rocky Mountains to the Rangers in Arizona. Of course, the convoys didn't always survive the trip, but they were enough to keep the Rangers alive and get them back on their feet in Arizona. Meanwhile, you continued to keep the peace in Colorado, and you had no shortage of new recruits. Every ambitious young person in Colorado wanted to be part of the Rangers. With 2 bases of power, the Rangers can dream of one day expanding their reach across the West. Angela Death and her team were officially declared dead. General Woodson held a small memorial service in her honor. After that, her name was never spoken again. The last of the original Rangers was gone. In Colorado Springs, the Patriarch soldiered on, clinging to power. Even as his body failed him, he stubbornly refused to name an heir. As the Patriarch's health declined, you became indispensable to him, and your influence grew. When the Patriarch finally dies, it'll be the Rangers who decide who takes its place. That's exactly what I wanted! The Gippers maintained an uneasy truce with the Ranger, worshipping their hostage god from afar. Though the rank and file were incensed by the injustice. To maintain order, the Nancys vowed that one day the Gippers reclaim Reagan as their own. Your actions convinced the machine commune that humanity could never be trusted. They walled themselves off in the outside world, and in the increasingly paranoid Gippers. Rumor has it, both sides are stockpiling weapons. That's good. Led by the Gift, the Breathers withdrew into the Rocky Mountains. They kept their distance to the people of Colorado, moving higher and higher into the mountains as the generations passed. In time, the Breathers became a legend to the people of Colorado. Some said they were even evolving into a new form of humanity. Others didn't believe that they ever existed at all. The 100 families reclaimed the old resort town of Aspen, but they never held a meeting there again. Too much blood, they said, and too many bad memories. After their humiliating defeat at the hands of the Rangers, the gangs of the Savage Council fled back to the plains. Within a year, most of the survivors were dead or enslaved by rivals. But the Savage Plains got their name with good reason. Everyone knew that other gangs would eventually rise, and eventually they'd cast their eyes on Colorado again. The Patriarch tried to rebuild his relationship with his daughter, Liberty. He removed her from the Ranger prison and brought her to his palace, though he kept her shackled at all times. She never spoke a word to him. Day after day, she sat calmly across the table at every meal or at the back of his hall when he received petitioners regarding him in silence. That. Though his bodyguards fear for his safety, the Patriarch continues to insist that he can win her over, and that he's not in any danger. Flab and his monster army maintained control of the bizarre and unexpected island of stability in a region remade by you and your team. Flab, after all, was a survivor. He'd survived the Patriarch, the Rangers, and he'd survived whatever was still to come. Relieved that it was all over, at last, Jody returned to Arizona with the supply caravan, glad to see the last of Colorado's snow and ice. And thanks to her help, and the delivery of the aid she promised, Jody's folks made it through the tough year that followed and prospered. Impressed that Team November had kept their promise to the Patriarch despite everything that had happened, Quan joined them full-time and became their chief liaison with the Marshals. Oh, hell yeah. With things with the Patriarch finally settled, Lucia decided to remain a ranger, continue to patrol and keep the peace, and serve as a liaison to the 100 families. After years of loyal service, the Rangers retired Morningstar and allowed him to drive his Kodiak Shell on his long dream journey to rediscover America. No one knows where he went or how far he got, but there probably aren't any communists there anymore. Disappointed that the Patriarch remained in power, after he left Team November, Ironclad Cordite did everything he'd promised to do and took the gangs east, where he at last began his bloody campaign to rule all of Kansas. After things resolved, the Rangers noticed Scotchmo was no longer with them. They searched every bar in Colorado Springs but never found him. Some say he's been seen drinking in saloons in Kansas and points east, but these rumors are unconfirmed. Next game's gonna be in Kansas, 100%. With that, the story of Team November comes to an end. For good or ill, you change Colorado forever, and its people will live with the consequences. But the story of the Rangers goes on. Yeah, Wasteland 4. Game was great. This game was great. Alright. So, I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of issues towards the end, especially with the bugs. Really hitting hard, but they were never anything game-breaking for us, thankfully. At most, they were just, hey, we have to restart the game. But we ended up having to do that quite a bit towards the end, which was a little bit unfortunate. So, yeah. That's it, we're done. And I'm kind of surprised, to be honest, that it was that quick, so to speak. So here's what we're going to do. Alright. I'm going to take, like, a 30-minute lunch. And then we'll be back with some No Man's Sky. We'll hang out with that for like 2 hours. And then we'll go do the normal things that we do. Trying to bring people to caffeine on the Redacted. And then we'll end up... maybe No Man's Sky. Maybe we'll check out the Dynasty thing. Trev keeps telling me I should play it. Maybe we'll check it out. Right? Medieval Dynasty. Maybe we'll do that. I'll think about it. Cursed RP, either way. Alright. Hey, Remy, I have a question? Sure. Also, on the YT side, though, thanks for joining us for Wasteland. TY.